So hey guys, on today's video, I'm gonna teach you how you can create UI design animation inside of your After Effects. So let's get started. So first thing what we are gonna do is make a composition like me and select your layer and duplicate that. Now we are gonna mask it by using a rectangle tool to mask your each element from a screenshot. And if you're not able to see your screen perfectly, make an adjustment layer and add brightness to it. Mask your element one by one and name it properly and duplicate your layer and mask it again and continue this process until you mask your all layer or object. So delete your adjustment layer if you are finished with your masking. So now we are gonna create a solid layer. Press Ctrl Y to make a solid layer and select the background of your screenshot and put it below to your every layer and delete your base layer. So now you can see the difference why we create a solid layer. So now we are going to create a transition. Select your all layer and press P to see the position and make a keyframe on it. Slightly move forward and make another keyframe. Make your transition like this. Now select your all keyframe layer and press F9 to ease them. Now we are gonna make another keyframe like you. Make a keyframe here and make a transition like you did before, something like this. Now select your all keyframes and go to your graphs. Select the speed graph option and make your graph something like this. Now we are gonna increase our duration of our timeline, like a 10 second or something. And select your all layer except the first layer. And now keep the 1 frame distance of your each layer, something like this. So yeah, now see the transition is kind of look cool. Now we are gonna do the same thing at the ending also. Select your all layer and Control D to cut it all. Select your all layer and we are gonna do the same transition like we did before but in a keyframe. So let's see how I do and copy me. Slightly move forward and press Ctrl to deselect your layer and move forward a 1 frame. Now Control. Now trim your timeline and enable the motion blur effect to look smooth. So after that we are gonna create a null layer and make a 3D object to your all layer and select the all layer and parent to the null layer. And right after that we are going to create a transition, a 3D camera transition, and make a keyframe to a position, scale and rotation and make your value something like to your preference or something like me. If you want to create transition like me, you can copy my settings. So our transition is ready. Mm, easy is your keyframes and make your graph like me. And next thing what we are gonna do here is we are gonna remove that text of our screenshot. To do that, we are gonna paint that screenshot. Get the paint tool and double click your layer. Select the background and paint it properly. And right after that, press U to see the paint layer. Select your all paint layer and move it backward. If it's already the backward, then you don't need to do that. And now we are going to create a text layer. Type whatever you want. Make sure to align your text properly and change your color. Make your text through a 3D object. Press P and change your G position to see your text and scale it down a little bit to fit here. So put it below your text layer to the paint layer that you painted and parent your text layer to the layer you paint. So now you see your text is completely parent. Now we are going to change some values to a rotation to perfectly match the title position. Now we are going to create a text animation. Now where you added your first keyframe to your null, from there we are going to animate our text. Now go to animate and select the opacity. Now we are going to another property, click add and add a position. Lower your opacity value to 0 and go to range selector option and advanced and base character to word. Now make a keyframe to offset and go to end of your layer and make it to 100. Now after that, position your value something like this and select your keyframe and press F9 to ease them and make your graph something like this to a smoother animation. So now we are gonna create a out transition. Copy your first keyframe and paste it. Select your layer and make your graph something like this for a smoother animation. So now you're done with your animation. Please subscribe and comment down below what next tutorial do you want from me. Peace.